Hey everyone, James Newburn here, Managing Director of the UT Gardens, and it's time for our annual Art in the Garden exhibit that's coming up this summer. So we want to go over just a few things that you as the artist or you as the parent of an artist need to be aware of as we move forward. So this year, it couldn't be cuter. It's bunny tails, a garden art exhibit. And so you see, rabbits are our focus this year. So just a few things to go over, and I've got my list right here. The first thing to do is remember to have fun. We just want you to create whimsy and enjoy the creative process as you embellish your rabbit. So we have different pieces available. For the adults, we have the sitting bunny as well as the leaping bunny, because we all know they jump. And then for children, we have the bunny head, or the bunny's favorite vegetable, the carrot. So that's what is available, and it's your choice, whether children or adult, to choose which one you like. They'll be due back to us on May 16th, and all forms have to be returned. If you determine that you can't complete it, or you get halfway done and you think, I'm going to run out of time, you still must return that to us, because we've got a wait list, and we can then send that down to the next person on the wait list. One thing we need to just really make sure is that everything is weather resistant. Remember, these are out in the garden for 3 months in the hottest part of the year. So using things like Elmer's glue, hot glue, they won't hold up because it gets too hot and the glue actually melts. And so be sure and use an adhesive or any materials that are appropriate for outdoor use. We also want you to be aware that you can use whatever means you want to decorate it. Some use acrylics, others use stain, or they use wood burning. Whatever you want to do, there are just some things you need to avoid using. Paper decoupage, alcohol inks, and paint pens do not work. They begin to fade immediately. So be sure you choose a medium that is appropriate for outdoor use. Also, be careful of the type of thing you may apply to it. We've had some with like chicken wire on them, which made for a very creative piece of art. But in working with it as the staff, trying to get it set, it becomes a bit problematic because it can cause injury. So be aware of that. Same goes with cut glass. Just make sure that your edges are not exposed in any way. The piece will not come primed. So if you're going to paint or do something that you think it might adhere better, if it's primed, please feel free to go ahead and prime it. You will be given these assembled. If you prefer that they not be assembled, please let Beth know well in advance before you pick it up, and we can make that accommodation for you. I mentioned priming it. Also, in returning it, they will be sealed with an outdoor sealant. You can do that yourself if you would like, or just return it and we will do it for you. So keep that in mind. Also, you'll be given a form to fill out that will want your artist name, the title of the piece, the media used, and the artist statement if you choose to include that. This is what goes on your official um, exhibit nameplate. And so we want that information. So be sure you've got it all spelled correctly and just how you want it on the plaque itself. Pieces will be on display through the summer till about the end of September or so, and all pieces will be available for purchase online. Every piece is for sale. And so once you bring it back, it becomes property of the UT Gardens, and then we turn around and sell it. That's the case with the adults and with the children's. Speaking of the children's, the pieces will be displayed on the treehouse wall in the children's garden as they have in the past, and only one side of the children's piece will be visible. The other goes flat against the wall with a type of attachment that we've manufactured for just this use. So don't put anything on the back that keeps it from being flat. So you will just at the minimum be required to paint one side, or however you want to decorate it, on one side, and don't forget the edges here. You may want to take care of that as well. So when it's flat against the wall, you can see the three sides, the right, left, and the front. Also, if you will write legibly the name of the person that did the piece so that we have that information right attached and we don't get anything mislabeled. That's in lieu of the paper that you're giving us for this. So Beth may ask you for a paper, but definitely you want to put the name on the back of the piece. And speaking of that, some of this is going to have kind of, this is a good example, kind of a good side here and not so good side on the back. So look and see which side you want to paint, which would be more pleasing and easy to paint. Sometimes those knots in there are hard to work around. The bracket and anchor system secures it to the wall, so we won't have any kind of theft or damage to them, which is good. And I think that's it for the children's. Now for the adult pieces, I did mention that they're going to be assembled. Ask Beth if you want them unassembled. But you want to pay attention to where our base attachments will be. Here on this one, you see there's two screw holes right here. So you don't want anything that would inhibit attaching our support post to that area. So if you're doing a mosaic or using pieces of glass or rock or whatever, be sure you leave this area flat. All artists get a Jerry's Artorama $10 gift certificate for the adult artist. Let them know at checkout that you're a program artist, and they'll take your name and get $10 off. So we thank Jerry's Artorama for being one of our sponsors. Again, the forms will be due back here May 16th. So you've got a couple of months to come up with your idea and instituted. And we're just really excited because these are such cool designs. I appreciate that Beth, who came up with the design, um, has this kind of 3D functionality to it. But be aware that all sides of this will be able to be seen. So on the sitting rabbit, you've got ears on both sides, you've got legs on both sides, you have this area here between the legs, and so you want to make sure that you um, cover the whole thing with decoration. And the same goes for the leaping bunny here. Again, we've got a nice three-dimensionality to it, and be sure that you cover everything. If you're going to cut out something and put something else in there, let Beth, or who's going to be your helper? Diane. Um, just let them know what you think you might like to do, and they'll let you know if that's a good idea or not. I think that's it. And again, use your imagination. This can be lifelike, it can be um, illustrative, it can be total fantasy that has no relation to rabbits at all. But it's up to you, and we just want you to have fun, and it'll be a great exhibit. So it's Bunny Tales this year, and we look forward to how you tell your tale.